So we are live, and I'm trying to share the video on YouTube and our Facebook page this week since it's City Slam. But I couldn't figure out how to do it earlier. So let me check real quick. All right. We're live. Okay. All right. So we're live. Always thank you to our sponsor Ian Huss for taking care of the costs and the fees for me. Local real estate guy, mortgage guy, awesome guy to work with. Feel free to hit him up for all your mortgage needs. As we show, we got Nate Spears here, requested by Jordan Town last week, and he took the challenge and showed up. So we do appreciate that. So Nate, we didn't really do a pre-show with you, but I'll go ahead and ask you. You had some things you want to talk about. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do that later, or how you want to?
Whatever way you want, man. I guess we can talk about it now.
Okay.
I think Red ran into a little bit of this problem this weekend. I actually heard him say some of the things I actually felt, right? Over the last 3 or 4 weekends, you go out here and teams are spending a lot of money to play, right?
Yep.
And you get little to no effort from some umpires. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to point fingers, do that whole thing, right? And getting calls wrong or right is one thing. Not knowing the rules just absolutely burns me up, right? So that happened 2 or 3 times this weekend. One of my biggest things that's kind of rubbed me wrong this weekend when I asked to be on when we talked, and this is nothing at any of the C teams when I say this, right? But they couldn't get the C teams to play. They got to dumb that down, right? The entry fees got to go down to entice teams to play, while D teams are over here paying full price for one umpire. C's got 2 and gets every known umpire that's halfway decent is over there doing 2-man. We can't get any time. There's nobody to even coach these guys up, to talk to them off the, after games, things like that. And it's like every weekend. Me and Slim, it happened again on Monday in a 35 number. Me and Slim I get booted out of the game there, right? Watch Red get booted out. I mean, and I get it, right? Like, oh man, nobody wants to do this for $30 and blah blah blah. But it's as simple as knowing the rules. If you know the rules, you don't get as much arguing, right?
Yeah. We've had some issues with that too, as I mentioned before. But yeah, it's I don't know. If I do anything, I like to do it the best I can. Do it with pride, know the rules. That's how I do things. So to show up and not know the rules, that's not who I am. So I don't know how that happens, but it does. I've noticed, we've had better luck, but like you said, we probably get the better umpire. So, and I don't disagree. You guys pay, your money's green, just as green as mine. So why not? Why don't you guys get the 2-man crews and the better umpires? I don't know. And our games take longer too, so they're probably making less on the hour too, on top of it, right? So yeah, I don't know. Wasn't there also an issue where you guys got started maybe later than you should have?
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother thing too, right? So, I've been on the other side, right? I've worked at some of these parks. I've done some things for Nikki and the River City gang, right?
Yeah.
And you have to keep things on time, and the whole time be 30 minutes early. I wholeheartedly understand that, because you don't want to be there till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They're going to be late nights anyway. We roll up. We're playing Rhino, right? Roy knows the gig. I know the gig. His team's there 40 minutes early. My team's there 40 minutes early. Game gets over. we stand there for another, what was it, 20, 25 minutes waiting on an umpire?
Yeah, 25 minutes.
They're like, I will drag the field, right? Like, and then when you say something, they're like, I don't know what to do, guys. Like, we can only do so much. But if either one of our teams weren't there, you're getting banged, forfeit, you're gone, right?
Right.
So who holds – it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, how do we hold somebody – who do we hold accountable there? And I went at TK a little bit right afterwards and everything. And he's like, oh, he's all hands off with it. Like, it's not me. It's not me. But it is, because he was sitting in a seat, right? Like, telling the director's got the right to, they send you these emails and stuff and say all this stuff. But, who do we hold accountable at that point? I was like, oh, both teams, the Park forfeits, guys, like, what happens there, right? Like, who wins there, right?
Yep, they definitely got the hand. And so when you umpire and your first game's at like 3, do you show up at 2:30 or how do you usually do it?
Me, I tried to get 2:15, 2.
I made sure I was ready to go 30 minutes before my first game.
Grab a drink or whatever, worst case. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, if we're held to that standard, they should be 2. And we are the customers. I know that gets forgotten sometimes, but we're the one paying. Sometimes I feel like we're treated as employees, us coaches. Have your team there, ready to dress, ready to go. And then things I always get frustrated by is, so we lost the winter bracket final game, loser brackets right afterwards. Man, I went up there to write the lineup card, and as soon as last out, we did the handshake. I ran up there, try to write out my lineup, and they're yelling, "Coaches, lineup cards!" It's like, man, dude, give me 5 minutes. This guy is now injured. This guy looks gassed. I had a lineup already written, but I changed my mind because of the way things went. Give me 5 minutes. I promise I'll run out there as soon as I can, but I can only write so fast. And that's something else I noticed last weekend too.
Hey, same thing happened to me. Championship against New Wave. We beat whoever. I don't remember who we played. Shockers maybe or no. Zach Fisher's team. Beat them. I run out to my car to get a Gatorade. Took 5 minutes. Yeah. We're already on the field.
Yeah.
Roy's like, I had to put you back down in the order. They wouldn't wait. I said, 5 minutes? Jeez, Pete.
See, and that's kind of my point in this whole thing, right? Is if you're talking to 3 guys that you guys were in it way before I was, right? And I'm trying to show young kids this now. If you're going to the park, whatever happened to going to you was just going to make a day of it, right? Like these guys, they like get there, play their game, pack up like it's a league night, then you're going back to the house or whatever. And the park was why you went, right? You went there to stay and mingle and see other teams and watch games and do things like that. So you knew you were there all day as a player, as a coach. As an umpire, when you take games, you don't say, hey, Slim, let me get 15 games this weekend. And then you're trying to hurry everybody through. And then by game 9, you're mad because you took the games, right?
Right.
Like you should plan to be there all day.
So this is let's see. Who am I getting feedback? Anyways. So John and I maybe wait. Was it Nate? Yes, Nate. Hey, Nate, we turn back a little bit. All right. So this rule here, Jono and I were debating this. So the rule says the umpire shall not give a call or signal time when a batter steps out of position after a pitcher starts delivery motions. Does that say you that's all match?
You got to read it. We're getting bad feedback.
I'll pull them out for a second. Read them. All right. So the umpire shall not give a call or signal for time when a batter steps out of position after a pitcher has started his delivery motion. So if a batter calls time after the pitcher starts, faking or doing whatever, does that say to you that it's an automatic strike?
No, if the pitcher throws a ball, it should be a ball.
Okay. So apparently, Jono and Slim believe this means it's an automatic strike. They believe that's what it reads. Because it goes under Section 4, which says a strike is called by the umpire. But to me, once you get all the way down to here, it's just saying that you're not granted time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So apparently all the umpires disagree. If you call time while the pitcher starts his motion, it's an automatic strike.
I've never heard that before.
No, you're still echoing. You have your volume.
No, I got it like halfway down. I don't know.
Try that. Is he better? Nope, still here.
Still me?
Yeah, it's you.
Daggone it.
All right, but while he's messing with that, we'll go on to the D City Slam, which is the backbone of the City Slam Memorial Day weekend. We play, the 35 over plays, the 25 U plays, but the whole weekend it goes around the D. So, how did you guys do last weekend, Rhino?
I felt like we played pretty well. Pool play, we showed up on Friday night, and I don't know whether our team thought we were just going to walk in there and teams were going to lay down because we've been playing well or not. But we didn't come out with very much fire that first game against New Wave. They kind of put it on us. We had some costly errors that we normally don't have. And they played well and beat us. And then the same thing with Quality Tire. For whatever reason, we just did not hit. I think we lost 6-3 in pool play. We had a kind of a come to Jesus meeting after that saying, hey, teams aren't going to lay down for us. We need to pick it up. And we started playing pretty well once the bracket started.
Yeah, so it looks like you guys have got Nephews 15-5. Looks like you beat Nate's team EOS 12-11, close game.
That was a weird game, man. That, like I said, it started late because the umpire didn't show up, and then Dries threw a flat strike in there, and it probably didn't get 2 foot off the ground, and he called it a strike. I looked at Roy. I said, if he's going to keep giving him that strike, you need to put me in the game because they won't get a hit. And sure enough, they put me in there. I threw it as hard as I could and as flat as I could, landed it behind the plate, and he kept calling them strikes, and they kept getting more and more aggravated, and they just stopped hitting once I went in there because it's a tough pitch to hit, 2 foot off the ground and throwing like a women's fast pitcher. It's tough to hit.
What up, Nate?
That ain't better?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like you fixed it. I don't know what you did, but nice work.
Nate, we were just talking about the umpire let me throw a Jenny Finch style against you.
Oh, yeah. But so we've had Kenny before too, right? And I told my guys, I'm like, at some point that's going to get in there, and we better be ready. And when they figured it out, and then they put Ryan, we actually talked afterwards. If they'd have started you, no knock on Dries, right? You guys probably would have run with us. I mean, we just couldn't hit it.
Yeah, flat and fast is kind of my game. I get called for a lot of flat pitches.
I didn't know that about you. I always see you pitching high, but that's probably because it's what they're calling. So yeah, it's good to know you're a low and flat guy. If they're calling it,
Right, it's like that in Metro one time too.
Yeah,
real late at night.
It looks like you guys beat the Shandy boys, 17-7.
Team out of Michigan, man. They were supposed to be pretty good. I mean, I guess they're good. It's when you're there that long for the weekend, you never know when guys they come out and didn't hit for the first 3 innings. I'm sure they're probably better than what they played us, but kind of put it on them early and just kind of coasted.
Then you guys beat Suspects 19-7, get you to the winter bracket finals. Suspects make a nice little run again. And then you guys lose to New Wave in the winter bracket finals 18-6. That had to be a great game. That was after a rain delay, right?
Yeah, after a little bit of delay. They got some really good players, man. They hit it pretty well. Got some clowns on their team, but they got some really good players as well.
I've heard good things about Peachy. He plays with us in the leagues. I haven't got to watch him too many.
Peachy's tough. Weehoff whacked it. Merkin played well all weekend. He did fantastic. He pitched well. He was hitting it well.
And then it looks like you guys made it back, and then New Wave ended up winning 19-9 in the final, probably at midnight or so, 1 a.m., something like that.
Yeah, it was a little rough. Drees got dehydrated, so he couldn't start. So I had to pitch, and they just shelled me.
Shelled you?
Yep. I think it was one of them games where the umpire wanted to make sure that there was not an if game. Strike zone kind of shrunk a little bit for us. Didn't shrink as much for them, but they hit it. It didn't matter. But yeah, that Suspects team, man, they're scrappy as can be.
You got my guy Micah playing with them, a little center fielder guy.
He's tough. He's quick as can be. He ran down a lot of balls in center field.
Good bruise too.
Good arm. When he connects, it'll go. He's still learning how to hit a little bit, but all the tools are there. It looks like Nate made a nice little run through the loser bracket. Beat Tribe 16-6. Beat Odd Sox 20-7. Kind of put it on a little bit. Beat Nova 23-13, and the Suspects eventually got you guys. So nice little run by you guys in the loser bracket. Looks like they spread you out a little bit, so you weren't back to back, but still, it's a lot of games played pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was tough. We just ran out of gas,
Yeah, and then you got to come back to the next day and do it again, right?
Yeah, and then you start over again, right?
So we had an issue in the Suspects game, and it wasn't really their fault. There was controversy on how many runs we scored in the first inning, whether we scored 6 runs or scored 5 runs. So the umpire told us the entire game that we scored 6 in the first inning. So we get to the 7th inning. Well, I guess they talked about in the 5th inning. We thought it got worked out. We thought we agreed that we got 6. Well, then in the 7th inning, apparently they weren't happy with that and said we only got 5. So they hit a single and a guy scored from first. So they thought the game was tied, where we're thinking we're up 1. So we had to have a 15-minute powwow, and Dave Murray came out. And it sucks that the home book is gospel, even when it's wrong. Yeah, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. I annoyingly go to the umpire every half inning and say, hey, this is the score, right? And they give you, yeah, exactly, whatever. But it happens, where there's a disagreement and you want to get it fixed right there, and let's look at the books and figure it out. And that's the only way I've ever been able to figure out how to control it. But yeah, there's been times where I know they're wrong. I have the information. They still want to fight you about it, and there's nothing you can really do if you're not home. So
yeah, listen, it was a long day for Dave, and I don't blame him. But when I umpire, I make sure I tell the score after every inning.
Yep.
That way, if I'm wrong right there, we can nip it in the bud.
Yep.
But I don't know. It was we ended up getting out of the inning tied, and then put it on them pretty well in the top half, and then they came back in the bottom half and scored a bunch of runs. But so Antonio, Clowns, I shouldn't say Clowns. You have a one particular guy who's a good player who likes to talk about how good he is instead of just playing the game. So, but you got a really nice squad, man. You got a really good team. Like I said.
And then Chase agrees with you guys. Sometimes the strike zone changes in the final game. That's not something I've ever noticed, but I'll definitely keep an eye on it moving forward.
Well, I mean, when them guys do 9 straight games, man, they get tired.
Yeah.
Your first one is you are on number 9 or 10, right?
What's that?
There's no way you can be as good game 1.
Oh, right.
For sure. Game 10, right?
For sure. And Ken Giles will tell you that. Ken's first 2 or 3 games, he's great. And then he starts getting tired, and he'll tell you he just starts not seeing as well. Or Gels, whatever. Ken Gels.
He's asking for names, bro.
Dude, I don't know the guy's first name, and I really don't even know his last name. He played second base for you. The guy that I got into it because when he got a base hit, he wanted to talk to our spectators.
Oh.
Now, if you're that sensitive that you're going to be upset when a spectator says something to you, that's probably a problem. And my only issue with it was, if you're going to talk to somebody that's playing the game. Don't talk to somebody outside of the game, because if you talk to a female outside of the stands and then you say something out of line, and then she says something out of line back to you, then her old man gets pissed off, and then we've got a huge problem. I have no issue with anybody saying you smack a double or something and you want to talk to the pitcher that he sucks and this and that, so be it. It is what it is. They're playing the game. They can do something about it. But because a spectator says nice hit in a sarcastic tone, you want to pop back at them?
So, Antonio, that's kind of what we do, is we talk about what happened over the weekend. We're not trying to stir anything up. This is – what else are we going to talk about? So I don't think it's anything personal.
No.
It's just, we're just talking. 25U has become a pretty nice little event. City Slam Metro. The guys talk about it. Some guys on my team talk about it. The kids, which I think is a lot of my guys, went down. That was a big deal. They kind of ran 25U for a while. So end of an era. We have a new champ sitting on the screen with us. Nate Spears, Scrappy AF. 25U wins the 25U City Slam, going through the loser bracket to make it happen. So that's a double dip. Anything you want to talk about 25U wise, Nate?
I mean, yeah, like you said, the 25U thing is really cool, right? Because it shows you that the game isn't dead. It gives you the youth. There are some great young kids out here playing the game, man. I've got 7 or 8 of them that played with me this weekend. They're on my regular D team. Like you said, the kids have got, I think, 4 or 5 year guys, Shelly, Spilly, those guys, Colin. They're really good. Rhino's little brother playing, Riley Stewart. That dude's a stud. Roy's got 2 or 3 other guys. Rhino, what's the little dark-haired dude that plays out for you guys?
Seth Keith. He's going to be a good player.
That dude's a nice player, man. There's like Corey Breeden. The Eli, I don't know, Eli Ashton is his last name. Plays for Kraken. That dude's a monster. That's just, that's the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of dudes out there that, that are really good 25U, so it's fun. Lets your young guys get in the game. It's gives them a way to play with some buddies. Just another thing we can do, right?
Eli Aston, dog. I'm guessing that's the guy you're talking about.
Max. We were actually in the king seat. So we beat kids in the winners bracket finals. Steve's came in from the losers.
Sorry.
And we had to beat them twice. That Eli kid didn't make an out in 2 games against us. And we're scoring like 25 runs a game. So it seemed like he got 40 at bats, and I don't think we got him out once. He was and he's fast. God, he can run. I don't know where Jimmy found him, but that's a stud.
I wonder if it's the same guy. We played him in League Night. He was playing center. Was he playing middle against you guys?
No, he played. They had him in center. He was Jimmy's middle guy, and they said they moved him to center field. So
yeah, so he did that. I think the first time in League Night we played him against. Man, he was tracking everything. He was covering left center to right center, gap to gap. Impressive. So I'm guessing that's the same guy, and yeah, he's a really nice player.
Yeah, in the first game, they kind of put it on us in the championship. But him and Hunter Hopkins together, I bet they took away 7 hits in the first 2 innings. And, they were it was a little demoralizing there for a minute. Then we kind of regrouped and got our stuff together. MVP this weekend was my soon-to-be son-in-law, Alex Lynn, right? Shout out to him. Played really well. There were some dudes coming at that dude, too. He was fielding the house. So, it's cool. You get to not only did I get to play with some of my guys, I get to play with some of their buddies. I got a 19, 20-year-old son that was on the team. Like I said, my son-in-law was on the team. So it was cool.
Yeah, Nate, I want to give props to Alex. I mean, he's turned into a really, really nice player. His pitching is improving tremendously. He throws a real heavy ball. He throws it deep on you, and he's tough to hit.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing is we got the kids and then we had a different umpire, and he didn't let when they went to Lou in between the two, Lou kind of squazzed him a little bit. I mean, rightfully so, right? Probably some of them were a little heavy, like you said, but I think he hit 7:30 on Monday, and the D hit like 7:15 for me. I mean, dude, we whacked it all weekend. So.
Right. And then we got the 35 over. That's the division for us guys, right? So you had a team in that as well, Nate.
Did.
Looks like you guys went 1 and 2. 35 and over is a little bit different because and then the 25 you have to find pitchers, and 35 over you need to find outfielders, right? That's the trick. So it looks like Salute to Service won this weekend. Nate had some stats for us. I'll pull up here in a second. They also won the Metro last year, I believe. So congrats to them, staying hot. Did you guys play them at all, Nate? That doesn't look like it.
Yeah, they were in our pool play actually.
Oh,
that was the first team. And we actually got out on them early. And Kenny Jones is like Kenny Jones, right?
Yeah.
So he gets it going. Then it's hard to hit him sometimes. And I think it was like inning 4. We're up 5 or 6 runs, and they just start. Eddie Weinberg's one of them. Whacked it, right? They got a bunch of dudes that just hit it. Ricky Penner hit the shit out of it against us. I mean, that's the thing when you play that old man ball, man. Everybody can hit, and when they get going, it's hard to stop them.
Yeah. Yeah. So what were the roster rules for 35U? So it's the lower division. So is it no C players, or do you get 2 or 3, or how does that work?
I want to say it was no C chips.
None at all. Okay.
Yeah.
And then 25U is wide open, right?
Wide open. Just got to be 25 sometime this year.
Okay. Which way do you guys like that better? Do you like having the roster restrictions, or do you like it being wide open?
I mean, I like the way they set it up.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent. I miss playing against the guys that I played against when I first started, like Michael Rogers and Larry Wirt, guys like that. I wish they were allowed to play because those were the guys that I started playing against when I first came up.
So yeah, that's something we talk about. It's like it's hard to find 35 and over guys that are not C chips, right? You've been playing that long. You're probably a C chip at some point, including you guys, right? You guys have probably both been C chips at one point. Nate, I know has.
But it took me a long time to get down to this level.
Yeah. I'm a C chip.
I would be the worst C chip ever. So.
No, I got you.
They still have Mike Clark as a B chip.
Wow.
That's a legend, though.
Yeah. John Mulvihill says, can we not do 35 plus pool play? I think that would probably go over pretty well.
I heard a rumor that they will not be doing pool play next year, that it'll be a 3-game guarantee.
That makes more sense. Tony Brown says we're the best trio ever at BB, and it's a lot.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, and then so I guess we got the Open and the C left. Which one do you guys want to do first?
So let me ask you a question, Z, before you pull it up.
Okay.
Because I know you guys won the Open. Were you focusing more on the Open, or did you really want to try to win both of them, or did you think that you were going to fare better in the C or whatnot?
I just played it out and saw what happened. So if we would have lost early in the Open, I probably would have folded it in a little bit. But we'll talk through it here. We ended up going our way in the Open, so that was good. I didn't try to lay it down in the C, and like I said, we'll talk about it. But
Well, let's do the C. Let's do the C first, then, since
Okay.
you didn't win that one.
Cool. So I'll just take it from my perspective. So we played Sports Co. within a half hour of winning the Open. Our guys were still loose. Sports Co. had a few hours off. We beat them 30-14, and then we ended up playing days in the winter bracket finals right after. There's 5 teams, so you already get the winter bracket final. Final score is 33-32. Clay and I talked about this at the time. Whoever wins that game is going to win the whole thing. Nobody's going to double dip either one of us. So it was 21-21 going into the 7th. We score 11 in the top. They score 12 in the bottom. Right. So people were asking me if we got gassed or whatever. No, I mean they straight up beat us. If it was early in the day, a couple more plays might have been made, but for the most part, they just straight up beat us. It was a good game. The winning run was at the plate. We could have walked him and got to Brady versus this guy. Cookie said he knew the guy, so he wanted to pitch to him. He hits at 304. I thought it was a can of corn. Voted out. They beat us. Just the last out. We would have caught it. So they win, and then they go ahead and roll through as expected. Once we lost that game, we had played all day. After scoring 32 runs after playing all day, half the team's gassed. Pizza was gassed. This guy hit the nuts in the day's game. Colin Teagarden, he stays up all night working, then comes to the game. He was starting to slow down a little bit. So some guys were slowing down. So at that point, I was like, well, we got a tough hill to climb. We still played Steve's pretty tough, lost 16-12. Or we lost, 16-12. And then Steve's ends up losing the day's final. Good game, 25-21. So nice little tournament. It was a little bit different playing 2 tournaments in one day, but we did the best we could with it.
I heard there was an issue with the double reentry with Doug Markham's team against Steve's.
I think it was Tiger Fitness because they came down and asked me. But yeah, so U-Trip's single reentry, GSL's double reentry. So I guess somebody got that mixed up, but I'm not exactly sure what all happened with that.
Yeah, I know there was a couple umpires this weekend that let us do the double reentry, and I knew that was not right, but they let us do it anyway.
I actually had an umpire that stopped the team from re-entering, and I'm sitting there waiting to get an illegal substitution to bang it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he stopped it. Tells him you can't do that.
No.
And then I can tell him you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
You just cost. There's only 2 or 3 times we get to make as a coach, right? See that you can actually help your team.
Yeah.
And that's one of them, right? And he's like, "Yeah, Lou, it was you. It was you, Lou." And he was like, "My bad, man." But yeah, I mean, it happened. I don't know if we'd won, if it helped us win or not or whatever. I don't even remember what happened. But
I think Lou's a great umpire too, by the way.
Lou did a great job this weekend. He was hustling. He was all super professional. That one instance, right? He owned that one. He was like, "Oh man, my bad." And to be honest, I would rather have that. Like, I'd rather him come to me afterwards and be like, "Hey, I blew that," or
Then an umpire telling you, "Yeah, I can do that. That's what I'm supposed to do." Just don't lie about it. Just say, "Hey, I made a mistake, and it is what it is."
Yeah, because I make wrong calls, right? I send guys from third and get them thrown out, take swing at bad pitches. Everybody has errors.
Right.
So.
I want to give you some props, Nate. You whacked it pretty good this weekend in 35 and over, man.
Not enough. I fell down in front of people right now. We played Hard Knocks, and I tried to leg one out. Kenny Ball got me swinging a crap pitch, and then he throws me out, and I try to lunge out and fall down in front of everybody. It was awful, but
get a little muddy, a little dirty.
I just stuck in the mud and left a big end.
So I think we were doing the runner rule wrong too. So they were doing anybody on the roster. They might have changed it. I don't check the rules year after year. They change it on me so often. But before this year, it was anybody in the lineup, and we did anybody on the roster. So I don't know if that was just for City Slam or U-Trip changed that. I probably need to check. But
U-Trip changed it.
Did they? So it is anybody on the roster. Okay.
It used to be it had to be in a lineup, right?
Yeah.
And then they changed it to anybody on the roster. But then the other thing, like this is the other thing, right? We talked about earlier about umpires and knowing rules and things is in U-Trip. I don't know if a lot of people know. Like, it's one time regardless, right? You can bat around 50 times. You're only getting one runner.
Mm-hmm.
In every other association, same guy, same spot, right?
Yep.
So as many times as he comes up and gets on, you can run for him. And that one gets missed a bunch. And it's hard. I mean, if you're a guy that does multiple associations and you're umpiring different weekends, things like that, it gets tough. But you're also getting paid to know the difference, right?
I don't know if you remember Expressway. They used to make you go to classes during the year, and then if you went to all your classes, you got an extra paycheck or something at the end of the year, right?
Yep.
We still have to go to meetings. Things like you got to go to at least one meeting, but he has like 3 of them throughout the off season.
Unpaid, I assume.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And then we're off to the Open. We beat the Giants 35. It was most any game. We beat Sports Go 14-3. Then played a really, really tough game against Tiger. Took 8 innings. They were out of home runs. Whitesy hit 1 home run in the 8th. That's the only run we score. They come in, they don't score. We end up winning that, going into the finals. Tiger Fittens make its way back, and then we beat them 23-8 in the finals. The 10 home runs were a little different. So we used a lot of them. I don't think we ever hit all 10, but we usually don't even hit our 5. So we were hitting 8, 7, and then when we went to the Sea, all of a sudden we were using all of our home runs. We were running out of home runs like the 3rd inning, which is brand new to us. So I guess some of those guys got used to hitting home runs whenever. So we'll have to readjust when we play again. But it was cool. I'd never never had a team win the Open, so I got that one now. So that's good. Excited about that. Good tournament. Had a great time. You guys got any questions about the Open?
Yeah, you didn't pick anybody up either, right? That was just your regular roster.
That was my regular. Yeah, there wasn't very many pickups in general. Like Sam from Tiger Fitness. I'm guessing Clay might have had 1 or 2. The Giants picked up Frankie Androla. So not too many pickups out there for the Open.
Who'd you have as MVP?
Pizza, Josh Lenny. Whacked it. Just whenever you needed a home run, he'd hit it. He was striking it well all day. That's another thing. Is once you get on that tournament, they shove that paper in your face. You have no time to think about it. You're just like, yeah, Pizza whacked it, right? He deserved it. But I would love 10 minutes to gather my stats or whatever and then figure it out. So I did the best I can. So if I missed anybody on my team, sorry. Felt like you deserved it. My tournaments, like I said, I try to spread those out. I think that's it for the Open. That's all of it. That's City Slam, Memorial Day weekend 2024. And next weekend we got the E. Is there anything you guys want to recap on the weekend?
So I just want to address the new wave guy again. So I shouldn't have called your guys clowns. When I say clown, I don't mean anything by it because we've got some clowns on my team, myself included. So don't be offended when I say clowns because every team's got them. So don't take that personally.
I'm a clown.
I'm a clown.
No hate in it. So yeah, Gibby had the book. This is Gibby. They both made 3 outs. So either way, all your pizza. Couldn't miss there. All right, so the E City Slam, my favorite City Slam. That's the tournament I've always wanted to win, and I will never get a chance to, more than likely. So whoever wins this weekend, I'm extremely jealous. We'll go through the pools, and then we'll pick the winner. Dark Waters, Warriors, Black Bear Roofing and Exterior, and Odie. Who do you guys like?
I want to say Dark Waters was looking for a center fielder or something this weekend, possibly.
Saw that too.
I mean, I still think they win the pool, but just to be different, I'm going to take Odie since I pick them every time they're in a tournament, and they always do terrible. So,
I'm going to go Warriors.
Warriors? I'll go Odie. This weekend they're going to click. And then we got the Flock, part-time athletes, Rough Riders, Nasty Wahoos.
I got to go with my boys from the Flock.
Flock. Okay.
Well, I think you guys beat them in the 25 and under in a close game. We had Gavin Tabby with us in that 25 and under. He threw like 3 dudes out of the plate, or that would have been a different outcome. I'll go part-time athletes, just to be different.
Okay. I'll go with the Nasty Wahoos. I'm not sure who they are, but I'm sure they're tough.
Yeah, I got to get down there this weekend at some point to give the Flock their 2 buckets that they've won.
Oh, well, I'll send you some money then. I go too. Crosley Sports, Relentless Reloaded, Gandhi Law, Outlaws, Blue Chew. How do you pick against Crosley here? You know, like you can, right?
I kind of hope we all just pick against him just to piss him off again.
Okay, let's do that. Who you like, Nate?
Oh, that's the guy that owns Ohio. Is that him?
Kentucky owns Ohio. Yeah.
I'm going with my girl Sue's and Relentless.
Sue's, okay.
I'll go with Chris Eads and Godby Law.
Dark Horse.
Yeah.
For Dark Horse. Outlaw, Blue Chew, Playmakers. Those are my guys. That's who I'm going with. Crosley, no shot. All right. Any Gang, Hooligans, Moonshiners, Dirty 30s. Who you guys like here?
How can you go wrong with Moonshine?
Moonshine's a good time. What about you, Nate?
I'll go Henny Gang.
All right. I'll do Dirty 30s. It's probably a loaded team of old guys, I guess. All right. The Zoo, Mandu's the High Reaper, Weather Pro, TSP.
I'll take the Indiana team. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll get lucky in the Amish.
Ooh, I like that.
Zoo's pretty good too, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
the Zoo's very good.
Yeah, I'll roll with the Zoo. Take the favorite.
And then, all right, I'll go with the Reaper. And then we got F Cancer, Queen City Slammers, Fat B. Who do you guys like?
I got to take my guys from F Cancer.
Cancer.
I'll take the Bat B. What is it?
All right. And then I got the Slammers. Let's see, and that's everybody. I feel like this tournament used to be bigger.
No Apex this weekend?
I didn't see them. Nope, no Apex.
Man, I was looking forward to an Apex Crosley showdown.
So have you played against Crosby? Either one of you guys?
No, I've never even seen him play.
Okay.
No.
Apparently they're pretty good.
Yeah, the guy that won the MVP for the C was from that team.
So is he playing this weekend with him?
I don't think so. I think he's with Clay full time now.
Okay.
Congrats to him. East City Slam, like I said, great event. Get your pool play and your tournament done in 2 days. Lots of games, awesome time. Do either of you guys have the East City Slam behind you?
I won the D, the 35 and over, like 2 years ago. Now the 25U. It's all 3 times.
I've won a bunch of D's and C's. I've never played in the E.
That's right. You've always been big time.
Monster.
Nah, overrated. Highly overrated.
Who
do you guys like to win it?
Ooh, I'll go with Dark Waters.
I'm gonna say Flock.
Flock.
I'll go with the Zoo then to win it.
The Zoo. Anything else on the City Slam before we move on to the last thing? Nothing.
It's a good weekend. Thanks to Dave and Joey Peck, those guys at the ground crew. I've been in those shoes. They've got there pushing water and stuff, especially in the middle of the day, right? Joey's down there playing and pushing water. And so, yeah.
Appreciate that, Matt. Thank you, buddy.
And then Tony is attributing Josh's power to his tiger sleep. So that could be possible. We'll keep an eye on his sleep tightness to power ratio.
Zach, I do want to say something. Dave Murray did a really good job of making sure the fields are playable after the rain. So Dave gets a lot of shit, but shout out to Dave. And I can tell I'm getting older, man, because when I first started playing softball, I wanted to play every weekend. And this weekend, Sunday night, was the first time I've ever prayed for something to get rained out on Monday.
I've caught myself doing that once or twice like the last couple of years myself, so can't blame you. Sometimes it'd be just nice to have a day. But usually when you want it to get rained out, you're gonna be playing. You're gonna get it all night.
Yep.
So yeah, between us three here, have you guys heard any news from NAP this week? Have you heard that rumor? You don't have to say what it is.
I didn't hear anything.
You talking about somebody leaving?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not been posted anywhere yet, has it?
I don't believe so. But yeah.
All right. So yeah, that should be out any time now. Survivor softball. You guys ever played this thing?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
It's a long. Look, I like the format. I like being able to pick your field. But after playing 15 games this weekend, there was no way that we'd be able to pull off playing another 7 or 8 games on Saturday.
So you gotta like protect your field, like king of the hill, right? Like you gotta,
yes. Yeah. If you win, you stay. You lose, you go challenge another field.
Is there any advantage to winning or losing until you get to the tournament?
In years past, there wasn't, because you basically could manipulate it. If you play the last game and lose, then you kind of could go to wherever you wanted to. And then I think one year they might have based it off seeding on the next day. I'm not sure how they're doing it this year. I knew we weren't getting in it, so I didn't really pay much attention to the format. I mean, anything new is always fun, and I like the aspect you win, you stay, and things like that.
All right. Before we go, oh no, where you go? I was gonna have us pick teams. All right. There we go. So we got Nephews, Tiger Fitness, Mafia Forever, Trio Styles, Ohio Steel, Bam Bam, Capper Apparel, and Team Wilson. They don't split this up. It's everybody plays in the same division, right?
I believe so.
Who do you guys like?
Is that Gapper Apparel? Is that New Wave?
Probably with some pickups, I'm guessing. I don't know. Is this a pickup team? The last bigger pickups. There's actually a C team in there that I haven't heard of. So
is this a paper roster event?
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think you can pick up some guys. That's what I think I saw on the post the other day.
I'm guessing Tiger Fitness will have some pickups. I'm guessing that team will have some pickups. The rest, I don't know.
I mean, if that's the New Wave team, I don't know how you can pick against them.
I'll go with Tiger Fitness. I'm assuming they're going to be picking guys up. I'm guessing they're probably guys in my roster. But you, Nate.
I'm gonna go with the Sam's boys, the Nephews.
Yeah.
They whack it. So.
You guys took care of them pretty early last weekend.
I mean, I think it's when you catch those guys, right? You can get them when they're down, but they play a 4-man a lot of times.
Really?
Yeah, and they glove it. So you try to go through there, and their guy catches it, and it's like, well, you got to stay out of there too. Takes away the gap.
Then, Nate wants to talk about toeing the rubber.
Oh man, hold on. So 25U, my guy Nate Gamble's out there pitching, right? And Max Davidson hit a pill, and Nate jumps in the hole, sticks his arm out, and takes it right in the forearm. They say it's broke now, right? Rhino pitches. I've had to go out there and pitch. I think that toe in the rubber thing is crazy. Like the way guys are hitting it now, ball's good, bats are good. You're just asking to get somebody hurt, and then we talk about player safety all the time on all these things, and making sure the dude's got to stand still so you can try to blow it up his ass. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what advantage you get. I don't know why they want you to stay on the rubber. I don't get it. So, maybe it's sports science I'm not aware of, but
Yeah, I used to be indifferent and not mind towing the rubber, but at night I can't see anymore, so I try to get it back as far as possible.
and here we go. Here's our guy. The MVP for C will be with Crosley this weekend.
We got to change our pick. Crosley to win it. No, I'm gonna get out there and watch some guys play. I've heard, like I said, I know Dylan hypes everybody up, but I've heard really good things about that team, so I want to see him play in person. I think them and the Flock will be a fun. Sure, it'll be really quiet that game.
Yeah, I might try and make it out in the morning and then on Sunday. If somebody wants to pick up a base coach, feel free to reach out. I'd like to look at Deep City Slam. So yeah. But that's all I got for today, guys. Anything else you want to cover before we call it evening?
Good luck to everybody playing this weekend.
Yeah, good luck. See you next week. Thanks, Nate, for coming on.
Thanks, Nate.
See you guys.
See you.